Guys, and welcome to Data Minders. I hope everyone is okay. I hope everybody enjoyed their carnival. I am Tishana Simon, and I'm here today to talk about data entry. A lot of times people, students, teachers focus on the methods of data analysis, but data entry is as important as data analysis. And so today we're going to talk about some to-dos and some don'ts. Now, the first to-do is give your respondents for any questionnaire surveys that you have an identification number. So you can either, when you create the questionnaires and you print them out, give particular papers, particular questionnaires, each questionnaire a particular number or a particular code, or after you collect your questionnaire, as you enter your data into Excel or SPSS, you give each respondent or each questionnaire a particular code or respondent number, right? Because that actually helps you to trace any errors. For example, let's say you have an error in a particular questionnaire. That particular questionnaire is supposed to have is supposed to have one response, and for some reason a respondent gave two responses. So you enter that without even realizing, and you're wondering why did this happen, and you need to find that questionnaire back. Having an ID number actually will help you be able to trace back to that particular questionnaire, so you can actually see. You won't get the full picture, but you can actually see what actually occurred, if you made a mistake in entering, or if the person actually really did take two responses. At the end of the day, it's just good to keep track of, to have tracking systems then in data entry, just the same way you need to have tracking systems in data analysis, and that's something we'll talk about later on. Now, my next tip is you need to schedule time for data entry. What a lot of persons don't realize is that data entry takes a while. Data entry rechecking takes a while, so it's best if you do it the first time, you do it right. So if you're planning, you have a deadline for either your thesis or either a project, and you have these questionnaires, or you have secondary data to collect and you need to clean it up either by deflating or by changing values from real to nominal or nominal to real. Those who are in the economics field will know what I'm talking about. It takes time, and so you need to make that time for data entry analysis. Now, our third to do is, before you actually analyze a survey, go through any questionable answers. Now, you can go through it through the actual questionnaire, you can go through it through the spreadsheet or the SPSS document, or you can do both at the same time, because so many errors can occur, especially if you hire someone to actually enter your data. So many errors can occur, and they themselves and you yourself can miss those errors. So after you enter the data, go through step by step each question on the questionnaire, each response for each respondent for each question, and make sure the right approach or right, and when I mean right answers, I mean, so let me give you an example. You have a question, you ask for one main factor that influences the purchasing decisions of a particular respondent. One main factor is what you asked for. Instead, your respondent gave you two. What do? Now you are going through just entering your data, and you just wrote the two, whichever two of the answers were given, and you just wrote that. You can't do anything about that, because let's say you had 5 options. The actual data entry is supposed to be written 1 to 5. Instead, you have a double digit in that cell space, and that isn't going to help you at the end of the day in your analysis. So also little things you will catch in your data analysis, little things like that, which will take time. And if you don't have time, you can always call me at Data Minders. And my last tip, my last to do is always do a pilot study. A pilot study is a small study, and if you are on a page, you will see that I did a small DT on what a pilot study is, a simple explanation on what a pilot study is, so you can like our page if you haven't liked it already, or look back. It just helps you identify any errors. One of the things it does is help you identify any errors in the questionnaire or any misconceptions that your respondents could have. So let's just take that last example that I gave about the respondent being asked for one main factor that determines purchasing decisions, and instead giving 2. If it is that you did a pilot study for that particular question, well, the entire questionnaire, and you notice that happened in that particular question, you would actually ask yourself, well, why? Did you put main in capital letters? Did you underline it? Did you bold it to make sure persons understand that it's just one response? If you did, can you make a little change and put right after the word main, or right after the entire question, in some brackets, one response only? Little things like that to help you not have the challenge of trying to fix that data, because making decisions and playing around with data when the response isn't what you expected kind of creates a couple of biases, and that's actually data mining, M-I-N-I-N-G, and not minding, which is what we do. We take care of the data, right? So now I am going to talk a little bit about what not to do. And this is really important, because this kind of streams from what I've been talking about what to do. So I'll see you at the end of this short presentation. So we're going to look at the first what not to do. As you can see, and as I mentioned before, you have your identification of respondents. But as you can see, we have a hypothetical question 1, which also is actually broken down into 3 sub-questions. And instead of having the first row alone as a variable name, you have 2 rows of variable names, which you do not want, because in transferring or importing to Excel, you don't want to have it like that. So this is how you do an Excel to SPSS import. These are the instructions, and we are going to do that now. So we have file, open, data, and then we choose the file location, which in this case is the desktop, and then we change the file type because it's an Excel, so we have to change the file type to Excel. And so we find presentation 1, and when you import the Excel into SPSS, this is what we get, because we chose the first row as the variable names because that is what you need, that's what you want, or else you will have no variable names. So this is what happens where you have 2 rows of variable names. You have question 1 being the actual variable, and some other variable names that SPSS gave, but have these sub-questions as actual responses, and that will not cut it for analysis. So we go on to the next what not to do, entering questions with multiple options chosen, how to enter them. So we have this one question, and this question is asking you to make multiple choices. So you have 5 options. You can choose all 5, you can choose 2 of the 5, you can choose 1. If it is that you get questionnaires or answers from questionnaires with a question like this, how do you enter the data? How do you not enter the data, which is what we'll start with. So we're going to just do a quick example. So we have our ID numbers for respondents, and we label question 1. And this is what persons do. They put all the responses for each individual respondent into one Excel cell. You do not want to do this. When you do this, you get into a little bit of problems in terms of analyzing the data. So what is the right thing to do? So we're going to just show you an example of what to do. What you're really going to do is make each option its own variable. I'm going to say that again. Each option, each response, its own variable. So if price is the first response, price becomes its own variable. So we're going to do the ID. We're going to write question 1, option 1, which in this case is price, and you're going to put for each respondent 1 if they answer yes or if they select price, or 0 if they do not select price as their choice for this particular question. So for the first respondent we have 0 because they didn't select price. The second respondent we have 0 because they didn't select price, and the third respondent and the fourth respondent we had 1 because they did. And you can just look at column B to just confirm what I am saying. And we're going to do another example with option 2. And again, looking at column B, if option 2 was selected, you put 1 as the response, and if not, you put 0 as the response. Now, how you go about analyzing this, and what you're really creating here is something called a dummy variable. How you go about analyzing this is another topic in itself. But just be careful in your data entry. Not everything passes or is allowed. So that's the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you need any further help in data entry, please do not be afraid to call. You can find us on Twitter, you can find us on Facebook, and you can even call me. You'll find that slide or my contact at the end of this video, and I hope that more of you like our page, more of you like this video, more of you share what Data Minders has to offer to your friends and to your family, anyone in tertiary education who really needs that help and that guidance. So okay, enjoy.